Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube video. Today I'll be covering Burp Sweep the basics. And just uh, heads up, I am recording this video today in my backyard, so I please do excuse the background noise that there might be in this video for today. But furthermore, Burp Sweep the basics. It's an introduction to using Burp Suite for web application pen testing. Welcome to Burp Suite Basics. This particular room aims to understand the basics of the Burp Suite web application security testing framework. Our focus will revolve around the following key aspects: a thorough introduction to Burp Suite, a comprehensive overview of the various tools available within the framework, detailed guidance on the process of installing Burp Suite on your system, navigating and configuring Burp Suite. We will also introduce the core of the Burp Suite framework, which is the Burp proxy. It is important to note that this room primarily serves as a foundational resource for acquiring knowledge about Burp Suite. Subsequent rooms in the Burp module will adopt a more practical approach. Thus, this room will contain a greater emphasis on the theoretical content. If you have not yet utilized Burp Suite, it is recommended to carefully read the provided information and actively engage with the tool. Experimentation is essential for grasping the fundamentals of this framework. Combining the information presented here with hands-on exploration will establish a strong foundation for utilizing the framework. This will significantly assist you in future rooms. So for the first answer the question below, there is no answer needed, so you would just press here to put answer, and right here it'll say question done. You don't have to do nothing. So with that being said, let's move on to task 2. What is Burp Suite? In essence, Burp Suite is a Java-based framework designed to serve as a comprehensive solution for conducting web application penetration testing. It has become the industry standard tool for hands-on security assessments of web and mobile applications, including those that rely on application programming interference (APIs). Simply put, Burp Suite captures and enables manipulation of all the HTTPS traffic between a browser and a web server. This fundamental capability form the backbones of the frameworks. By intercepting requests, users have the flexibility to route them to various components within the Burp Suite framework, which we'll explore in the upcoming sections. The availability to intercept, view, and modify web requests before they reach the target, serves, or even manipulate responses before they are received by our browser makes up Burp Suite an invaluable tool for manual web application testing. Burp Suite is available in different editions. For our purposes, we will focus on Burp Suite Community Edition, which is freely accessible for non-commercial use within legal boundaries. However, it's worth noting that Burp Suite also offers professional and enterprise editions, which comes with advanced features and require licensing. Burp Suite Professional is an unrestricted version of Burp Suite Community. It comes with features such as an automated vulnerability scanner, a fuser, brute force that isn't rate limited, saving projects for future use and report generations, a built-in IP to allow integration with other tools, unrestricted access to add new extensions for greater functionality, access to Burp Suite Collaborator, effectively providing a unique request catcher, self-hosted or running on a port swinger owned server. In short, Burp Suite Professional is a highly potential tool, making it a preferred choice for professionals in the field. Burp Suite Enterprise. In contrast, the community and professional editions are primarily utilized for continuous scanning. It features an automated scanner that periodically scans web applications for vulnerabilities, similar to how tools like Nessus perform automated infrastructure scanning, unlike the other editions, which allow manual attacks from local machines. Burp Suite Enterprise resides on a server and constantly scans the target web applications for potential vulnerabilities. Due to requiring a license for the professional and enterprise editions, we will focus on the core feature set provided by the Burp Suite Community Edition. Note, the provided demonstration utilizes Burp Suite for Windows. However, functionality remains consistent with the version installed on the attack box. So answer the questions below. So our first question that we have to answer is, which edition of Burp Suite runs on a server and provides constant scanning for target web apps? And that is Burp Suite Enterprise. Second question. Burp Suite is a frequently used when attacking web applications and mobile applications. So also one thing that I would like to mention about this Burp Suite basics. Today we're not really gonna get into like too much technical stuff. We are just really we're really reading an overview of what Burp Suite is. So it's more of an introduction to this what's to come pretty much on the next lobby. Drinking the Gatorade. They're pretty good right now. Tastes really good. Anyways, we'll get started with features of the Burp community. Alright. Although Burp Suite community offers a more limited feature set compared to Professional Edition, it still provides an impressive array of tools that are highly valuable for web application testing. Let's explore some of the key features. Proxy. The Burp proxy is the most renowned aspect of Burp Suite. It enables interception and modification of requests and responses while interacting with a web application. Repeater. Another well-known feature, Repeater allows for capturing, modifying, and resending the same requests multiple times. This functionality is particularly useful when crafting payloads through trial and error. SQL, structured query language injection, or testing the functionality of an endpoint for vulnerabilities. Intruder. Despite rate limitations in Burp Suite community, Intruder allows for spraying endpoints with requests. It is commonly utilized for brute force attacks or fuzzing endpoints. Decoder. Decoder offers a valuable service for data transformation. It can decode capture information or encode payloads before sending them to the target. While alternatives service exists for this purpose, leveraging decoder with Burp Suite can highly be efficient. Sorry about that. Comparer. As the name suggests, Comparer enables the comparisons of two pieces of data at either the word or byte level. While not exclusive to the Burp suite, the availability to send potentially large data segments directly to a comparison tool with a single keyboard shortcut significantly accelerates the process. Sequencer. Sequencer is typically employed when assessing the randomness of tokens, such as session cookies, values, or other supposedly randomly generated data. If the algorithm used for generating these values lacks secure randomness, it can expose avenues for devastating attacks. Beyond the built-in features, the Java code of Burp Sweep facilitates the development of extensions to enhance the framework's functionality. These extensions can be written in Java, Python, using the Java Jython interpreter, or Ruby, using the Java JRuby interpreter. The Burp Sweep Extender module allows for quick and easy loading of extensions into the framework, while the marketplace known as BAP Store enables downloading of third-party modules, while certain extensions may require a professional license. For integration, there are still a considerable number of extensions available for Burp community. For instance, the Logger++ module can extend the built-in login functionality of Burp Suite. So now let's move on to the answering portion of this section. First question is, which Burp Suite feature allows us to intercept requests between ourselves and the target? And that's proxy. Second question is, which Burp tool would we use to brute force a login form? And that would be intruder. So on task 4, it's installation. And now we're on task 4, installation. Burp Suite is one of the tools that is very useful to have around, whether for web or mobile application assessments, pen testing, bug bunny hunting, or even debugging features in a web app development. Here's a guide on installing Burp Suite on different platforms. Note, if you use the attack box, Burp Suite is already installed, so you can skip this step. And just FYI, for this video, I am using the attack box, so we're just going to use the one that's already installed on the Try Hack Me. So, but nonetheless, I will go over the information on how to download Burp Suite. To download the latest version of Burp Suite for other systems, you may click the button to go to their download page. Kali Linux Burp Suite comes pre-installed with Kali Linux. In case it is missing on your Kali installation, you can easily install it from the Kali app repositories, Linux, macOS, and Windows. For other operating systems, port Swigger. I need to do some research if that is how you pronounce that. Anyways, we'll continue. Provide dedicates installer for Burp Suite communities and Burp Suite professionals on the Burp Suite downloads page. Choose your operating system from the drop-down menu and select Burp Suite Community Edition. Then click Download button to initiate the download. It should look something like this. This is what Try Hack Me has put on here. So, installation. Install Burp Suite using the appropriate method for using your operating system. On Windows, run the executable file, while on Linux, execute the script from the terminal, with or without sudo. If you choose not to use sudo during the installation on Linux, Burp Sweep will be installed in your home directory at this exact thing and will not be added to your path. The installation wizard clear instructions and is generally safe to accept. The default setting, however, is always recommended to review the installer carefully. With Burp Sweep successfully installed, you can now launch the application in the next tab. We will explore the initial setup and configuration. So for the next one, as you could see, there is no answer needed. So task 5, dashboard. You may use the pre-installed Burp Sweep Community Edition in our attack box. To launch the attack box, click the Start Attack Box button at the top of this page, which we have already done, and we're already on the attack box. So once you launch the Burp Sweep and accept the terms and conditions, you will be prompted to select a project type in Burp Sweep Community. The options are limited, and you can simply click next to proceed. So I'm gonna start this up. Furthermore, the next window allows you to choose the configuration for Burp Sweep. It is generally recommended to keep a default setting which are suitable for most situations. Click Start Burp to open the main Burp Sweep interface. So, like this said, we click Next here, and here we click Start Burp. Upon opening the Burp Sweep for the first time, you might encounter a screen with training options. It is highly recommended to get through these training materials when you have the time. If you don't see the training screen, or in subsequent sessions, you will be presented with a Burp dashboard, which may seem overwhelming at first. However, it will soon become familiar. The Burp dashboard is divided into 4 quadrants and labeled in counterclockwise order starting from the top to left. The Burp dashboard is divided into 4 quadrants as labeled in counterclockwise, others starting from the top to left. I'm gonna just give you a zoom on this. So it's pretty much this right here. Task. The task menu allows you to define background tasks that Burp Sweep will perform while you use the application in the Burp Sweep community. The default live passive crawl task, which automatically logs pages visited, is sufficient for our purposes in this module. Burp Sweep Professional offers additional features like on-demand scans, event log. The event log provides information about the actions performed by Burp Sweep, such as starting the proxy, as well as details about connections made through Burp. Issue activity. This section is specific to Burp Sweep Professional. It displays the vulnerabilities identified by the automated scanner, ranked by severity and filterable based on the certainty of the vulnerability. Advisory. The advisory section provides more detailed information about the unidentified vulnerabilities, including the reference and suggest remediations. This information can be exported into a report in the Burp Sweep community. This section may not show any vulnerabilities. Throughout the various tabs and windows of Burp Suite, you will notice question mark icons. Clicking on these icons opens a new window with helpful information specific to that section. These help icons are invaluable when you need assistance or clarification on a particular feature, so make sure to utilize them effectively. And on this picture is showing you the dashboard. By exploring the different tabs and functionalities of Burp Suite, you will gradually become familiar with its capabilities. So for the question below, it says what menu provides information about the actions performed by Burp Suite, such as starting the proxy and details about the connections made through that burp. And that is the event log. Task 6, Navigation. In the Burp Suite, the default navigation is primarily done through the top menu bars, which allows you to switch between modules and access various sub-tabs within each module. The sub-tabs appear in a second menu bar directly below the main bar. Here's how the navigation works. Module selection. The top row of the menu bar displays the available modules in the Burp Suite. You can click on each module so you can switch between them. For example, the Burp Proxy module is selected in the image below. Subtabs. If selected modules has multiple subtabs, they can be accessed through the second menu bar that appears directly below the main menu bar. The subtabs often contain modules specific settings and options. For example, in the image above, the proxy intercept subtabs is selected within the Burp Proxy module. Detaching tabs. If you prefer to view multiple tabs separately, you can detach them into separate windows. To do this, go to the window option in the application menu above the module selection bar. From the detach option, and selected tab will open in separate window. The detached can be retached using the same method. And you can see all this right here. Burp Suite also provides keys shortcuts for quick navigation to key tabs by default. The following shortcuts are available. And then you have your shortcuts right here. You have your Control-Shift-T for dashboard, your Control-Shift-T for target tab, you have your Control-Shift-P for proxy tab, and you have your Control-Shift-I for intruder tab, and lastly you have Control-Shift-R for repeater tab. Moving on to the answer question below, which tab Control-Shift-P will switch us to? And that is the proxy tab. Moving forward, we have task 7. Before diving into the Burp proxy, let's explore the available options for configuring Burp Suite. There are two types of settings: global settings, also known as user settings, and project settings. Global settings, these settings affect the entire Burp Suite installation and are applied every time you start the application. They provide a baseline configuration for your Burp Suite environment. Sorry about that. Project settings. These settings are specific to current projects and apply only during these sessions. However, please note that the Burp Suite Community Edition does not support saving projects, so any project-specific options will be lost when you close Burp. To access these settings, click on Settings button in the top navigation bar. This will open a separate setting window. So right here, you could see what they are talking about. Below, the image showing the separate setting window. And I'll go ahead and click on mine just to show you this is what it looks like. In settings window, you will find a menu on the left hand side. This menu allows you to switch between different types of setting, including search, and enable searching for specific settings using keywords. Type filter. Number 2, type filters these settings for user and project options. User settings shows settings that affect the entire Burp Suite installation. Project settings display settings specific to the current project. And number 3, categories, allows selecting by category. And we'll click to see what this means. So this is 1, this right here is 2, and this is 3. So you have your 1 right here, 2 right here, and 3. It is worth noting. Sorry about that. Hard work reading to y'all. We'll move forward now. It's worth noting that many tools with Burp Suite provide shortcuts to specific categories of settings. For example, the proxy module includes a proxy setting button that opens the settings window directly to the relevant proxy section. And we will check this out on mine. The search feature on the settings page is a valuable addition, allowing you to quickly search for settings using keywords. Take some time to familiarize yourself with the range of configurable options. Excuse me. In Burp Suite. Once you are comfortable, you can proceed with the exercises related to configuring Burp Suite settings. So for the answers, questions below. So it looks like we have 4. First one, in which category can you find a reference to a cookie jar? And that is sessions. Question 2, in which base category can you find the updates subcategory, which controls the Burp Suite updates behavior? And that is suite. What is the name of the subcategory which allows you to change the key bindings for shortcuts in Burp Suite? And that is hotkeys. If we have uploaded client-side TLS certificates, can we overwrite these on a per project basis? Yay or nay? And that is a yeah. Moving on to task 8 out of 15. Introduction to the Burp proxy. The Burp proxy is a fundamental and crucial tool with Burp Suite. It enables the captures of requests, and response between the user and the target web server. This intercepts traffic, can be manipulated, sent to the other tools for further processing, or explicitly allowed to continue to its destination. Key points to understand about the Burp proxy. Intercepting requests. When requests are made through the Burp proxy, they are intercepted and held back from reaching the target server. The request appears in the proxy tab, allowing for further actions such as forwarding, dropping, editing, or sending them to other Burp modules. To disable the intercept and allow requests to pass through the proxy without interpretation, click the intercept is on. So as you can see, it is already on right here. And whenever you're intercepting something, it usually goes here, but I haven't tried to intercept nothing yet, so there is nothing on this screen so far. So furthermore, taking control, the availability to intercept requests empowers testers to gain complete control over the web traffic, making it invaluable for testing web applications. Capture logging. Burp Sweep captures and logs requests made through the proxy by default, even when interception is turned off. This login functionality can be helpful. Alright. Captures and logins. Burp Sweep captures and logs requests made through the proxy by default. Even when the interception is turned off, this logging functionality can be helpful for later analyzing and review of prior requests. Web support. Burp Sweep also captures and logs WebSocket communication, providing additional assistance when analyzing web applications. Log history. The captured request can be viewed in the HTTP history and WebSocket history. Such tabs allowing for retrospective analysis, sending requests to other Burp modules as needed. As you tell, right here. And that is the history. Proxy specific options can be accessed by clicking the proxy setting button. These options provide extensive control over the proxy's behavior and functionality. Familiarize yourself with these options. These optimize your Burp proxy usage. Some notable features in the proxy setting. Response interception by default. The proxy does not intercept server responses unless explicitly requested on a per request basis. The interception response based on the following rule checkbox, along with the defined rules, allows for a more flexible response interception. Match and replace section in the proxy setting enables the user of regular expressions to modify incoming and outgoing requests. This feature allows for dynamic changes such as modifying the user agent or manipulating cookies. Take the time to explore and experiment with the proxy options, as this will enhance your understanding and proficiency with the tool. And just to show you right here, because I didn't click on it, but this is the response interception, and that's how it should look like once you click it. So you have your intercept response based on the following rules, and it gives you this list right here. And as you can see, they have these two checked. One was intercepted right there. However, there is nothing to be answered here, so we'll just move on at this point to task 9. Start machine. By clicking the start machine button at the upper right corner, which we already have it started, to use the Burp Suite proxy, we need to configure our local web browser to redirect traffic through Burp Suite. In this task, we will focus on configuring the proxy using the Foxy proxy extension in Firefox. Please note that the instructions provided are specific to Firefox. If you are using a different browser, you may need to find an alternative method or use the Try Hack Me box. Here are the steps to configure the Burp Suite proxy with Foxy proxy. Install Foxy proxy. Download and install the Foxy proxy basic extension. Note, Foxy proxy is already installed on the attack box, so I will not be showing you this, unfortunately, but I will read the steps. Access Foxy proxy options Once installed, a button will appear at the top right of the Firefox browser. Click on the Foxy Proxy button to access the Foxy Proxy. Foxy Proxy options pop up. Create Burp proxy configurations. In this Foxy Proxy option pop-up, click the Options button. This will open a new tab with the Foxy Proxy configuration. Click the Add button to create a new proxy configuration. Add proxy details on the Add Proxy page. Fill in the following values: title, Burp, or any preferred name. Proxy IP, and this is the example IP and the example port. So as you could tell, it wants us to start this and to add an IP. So now to do this, you have to go to your Firefox, just gonna check real quick right here just to make sure we are doing the correct one. Alright, so right here you have your Foxy Proxy. We're gonna go to the options. So you have your Foxy Proxy right here. So you go on there, you do that. You make sure that this matches up. What's on the left matches up to what's on your attack box. So you have your Burp right here. It says HTTP. It says the proxy IP and the port. So now just click Save. So now save and configure. Click Save to the Save Burp proxy configuration. Now activate the proxy. Now activate the proxy configuration. Click on the Foxy Proxy icon at the top of the right of the Firefox browser and select the Burp configuration. This will redirect your browser traffic through this IP address. Note that the Burp suite must be running for your browser to make requests when this configuration is activated. So now this is what you want to go, and just like that, it is now activated. You can tell the difference because now it has this green little icon. So now enable the proxy intercept. Enable the proxy intercept Burp suite, switch to Burp suite, and ensure that the intercept is turned on in the proxy tab. So now we're gonna go back to Burp suite, and as you can see, we already had it on, and you should get this right here, the interception from the Firefox. So now we are going to test the proxy. Open Firefox and try accessing a website such as the homepage for http 10.10.93.207/. Your browser will hang and the proxy will populate with the HTTP request. Congratulations, you have successfully intercepted your first request. So we will go ahead and do that right here. So we will type in HTTP //10.10 sorry 93 207 slash, now we'll hit enter, and this is what it means by your browser will hang. It will just get stuck doing this right here. Now we'll check our burp sweep, and as you can see, we have successfully intercepted our first request. Remember the following: when the proxy configuration is active and the intercept is switched on in the burp sweep, your browser will hang. Whenever you make a request, be cautious not to leave the intercept switch on unintentionally, as it can prevent your browser from making any request. Right-click on a request in Burp Sweep allows you to perform various actions such as forwarding, dropping, sending to other tools, or selecting options from the right-click menu. Take note of these details as you begin using the Burp Sweep proxy. Note: consider closing the tabs in the attack box browser before enabling interception, as you will receive some WebSocket requests instead of requests from the target virtual machine. So now we will move to site and map and issue definitions. The Target tab in Burp Suite provides more than just control over the scope of the testing. It consists of 3 sub-tabs. Sitemap. This sub-tab allows us to map out the web applications we are targeting in a tree structure. Every page that we visit while the proxy is active will be displayed on the sitemap. This feature enables us to automatically generate a sitemap by browsing the web application in Burp Suite. Professional, we can also use the sitemap to perform automated crawling of the target, exploring links between the pages, and mapping out as much of the site as possible. Even with Burp Suite Community, we can still utilize the sitemap to accumulate data. Our initial enumeration steps. It is particularly useful for mapping out APIs, as any API endpoint accessed by the web application will be captured in this sitemap. That is right here. So you have to go under target, and right here is where it says sitemap. So issue definitions right here. Issue definitions. Although Burp Community does not include the full vulnerability scanning functionality available in Burp Suite Professional, we still have access to a list of all the vulnerabilities that the scanner looks for. The issue definitions section provides an extensive list of web vulnerabilities, complete with descriptions and references. This resource can be valuable for referencing vulnerabilities and reports, or assisting in describing a particular vulnerability that may have been identified during manual testing. Scope setting. This setting allows us to control the target scope in Burp Suite. It enables us to include or exclude specific domains, IPs, to define the scope of our testing. By managing the scope, we can focus on the web application we are specifically targeting and avoiding capturing unnecessary traffic. And that is the scope setting right there. Overall, the Target tab offers features beyond scoping, allowing us to map out web applications, fine-tune our target scope, and access comprehensive list of web vulnerabilities. For reference purpose. Challenge. Take a look around this site on http 10.10.93 207. We will be using this a lot through the module. Visit every other page that is linked on the web homepage. Then check on your sitemap, and one endpoint should stand out as being very unusual. Visit this in your browser or use a response section of this sitemap entry for that endpoint. So it wants us to go to sitemap, doesn't it? So we have to open up a browser. So for this we have to enable Sandbox. Now let's open this. So also you have to have the interception off so you could open anything. So that's working, should be working now. Copy paste that in there. Oh yeah, so now we will turn this interception back on. And now all we have to do is click through all of this, and we'll just look at the hint, right? So you're looking for a suspicious page with a name made up of a series of random letters and numbers. So click home, about, contact, support, production, products, sorry. So now you have to visit this. So it's not there yet, so maybe I have to turn this back off. So I'll turn it off. So now we have to visit this home, about, contacts, support, products, and I'll just go back to Burp Sweep, and boom, right here you have it. That's what you're looking for right there. Expand this real quick. Here, I'm just gonna attributes. And you have to click on response, and right here is your flag. So basically just copy paste that and put that on there, and you have the correct answer. So now we will move on to task 11, the Burp Suite browser. Alright, this one right here is a pretty easy one as well. So if the previous task seemed overly complex, rest assured this topic will be a lot simpler. In addition to modifying our regular web browser to work with the proxy, Burp Suite also includes a built-in Chrome browser that is pre-configured to use the proxy without any of the modifications we just had to do. To start the Burp browser, click the Open Browser button in the Proxy tab. A Chromium window will pop up, and any requests made in this browser will go through the proxy. So now you have to click on Proxy, and this has to be off in order for it to open. So this is the Chrome that they are talking about. Note, there are many settings to the Burp browser in the project options and user options settings. Make sure to explore and customize them as needed. However, if you are running Burp Suite on a Linux as the root user, as in the case with the attack box, you may encounter an error preventing the Burp browser from starting due to the inability to create a sandbox environment. There are two simple solutions to this. Smart option. Create a new user and run Burp Suite under a low privilege account to allow the Burp browser to run without issues. Easy option. Go to Settings, Tools, Burp Browser, and check the Allow Burp browser to run without a sandbox, which I showed you earlier. So basically you just click Settings, look for sandbox, and you enable it for it to work without a sandbox option. Enabling this option will allow the browser to start without a sandbox. However, please be aware that this option is disabled by default for security reasons. If you choose to enable it, exercise caution, as compromising the browser could grant an attack access to your entire machine. In the training environment of the attack box, this is unlikely to be a significant issue, but use it responsibly. For the answer question below, there is no answer needed, so we will move on. Moving on to task 12, scoping and targeting. Finally, we come to one of the most important aspects of using the Burp proxy, scoping. Capturing and logging all of the traffic can quickly become overwhelming and inconvenient, especially when we only want to focus on a specific web application. This is where scoping comes in. By settling a scope for the project, we can define what gets proxied and logged in Burp Suite. We can restrict Burp Suite to target only the specific web applications we want to test. The easiest way to do this is by switching to the Target tab. Right-clicking on our target from the list on the left and selecting Add to Scope. Burp will then prompt us to choose whether we want to stop logging anything that is not in the scope, and in most cases we want to select yes. And right here is showing us an example. Scope settings. At the scope, and they are clicking yes. Alright, let's move on. To check our scope, we can switch to the scope settings sub-tab with the target tab. The scope setting window allows us to control our target scope by including domains, IPs. This section is powerful and worth spending time getting familiar with. However, even if we disabled login for our out of scope traffic, the proxy will still intercept everything to prevent this. We need to go to the proxy settings subtab and select URLs is target scope. So as you can see right here, they're going to proxy. They click on these right here. The file extension does not match this and this. Enabling this option ensures us that the proxy completely ignores any traffic that is not within the defined scope, resulting in cleaner traffic view in Burp Suite. Add, which would be your IP address, to your scope, and change the proxy setting to only intercept traffics to in-scope targets. See the difference between the amount of traffic getting caught by the proxy before and after limiting the scope? So task 14, example attacks. Having looked at how to set up and configure our proxy, let's go through a simplified real-world example. We will start by taking a look at the support form at http your IP address /ticket/. So let's go ahead and close all of this. We'll close this. Close this. We're definitely closing this. And that should be it. Alright. So let's go to proxy. We'll go to open browser. Now we'll go to this. Oh Lord. /. Alright, so as you can see, we are here now. In a real-world web app pen test, we will test this for a variety of things, one of which could be cross-site scripting, or XSS. If you have not yet encountered XSS, it can be thought of as injecting a client-side script, usually in JavaScript, into a web page in such a way that it executes. There are various kinds of XSS. The type that we are using here is referred to as reflected XSS, as it only affects the person making the web request. Walkthrough. Try typing this right here into the contact email field. You should find that there is a client-side filter in place which prevents you from adding any special characters that aren't allowed in the email address. So let's go ahead and try that. Shift. As you can see, it's not allowing me to type any of that. However, script, and we'll do this, and it just doesn't allow it. Fortunately for us, client-side filter are absolutely easy to bypass. There are a variety of ways we could disable the script or just prevent it from loading in the first place. Let's focus on simply bypassing the filter for now. First, make sure that your Burp proxy is active and that intercept is on. So we will now switch to Burp Sweep and switch it on so it can start intercepting. We're going to go back now. Now enter some legitimate data into the support form. For example, pentest HTTP and test attack as a query. Submit the form. The request should be intercepted by the proxy. With the request captured in the proxy, we can now change the email field to be our very simple payload from the above. So it's this one right here is what you will put. After pasting the payload, we need to select it, then the URL encode it with the CTRL Control U, shortcut to make it safe to send. This process is shown in the GIF below. So now that was the example, so let's do it for ourselves now. As you can tell, it's right here, pentest. So now I must delete all this. Type in our stuff. Or we'll just copy paste it actually. And I just chose to do this one. So So now we gotta select this right here. Not quite that. Alright, now Control U. And it's not quite getting it. Sorry about that. So now, do it again. Control U. And I am having problems actually. Mouse is not actually to happen, and I'm having a bit trouble here. Not sure what exactly it is. It's not allowing me to put the Control U, but nonetheless, this is how you do it. Oh Lord, that was a copy paste. Yeah, finally, you'll press forward. We'll just press forward, see what happens. Okay, you know what? We'll just do it again. So we'll put this. And boom, as you could see, we have successfully done it. I'm not sure exactly how I did it, but it went through, guys. But yeah, anyways, there's that. As you could see, successful. But my computer was definitely lagging there. I'm not quite sure what happened, but we ended up getting it at the end. So you should find an alert box from the site indicating a successful XS attack. And right here, there is no answer needed, which leaves us to the conclusion on task 5. Congratulations on completing the Burp Basics room. You now have a solid understanding of the Burp Suite interface, configuration options, and the Burp proxy. These skills will be essential as you continue your journey in web and mobile application penetration testing. To further enhance your skills, I encourage you to practice and experiment with Burp Suite Explorer. It features tries different configurations and familiarize yourself with its various tools. The more you use Burp Suite, the more proficient you will become in identifying and exploiting vulnerabilities in the web applications. In the next room of the module, we will dive deeper into the Burp Suite Repeater, another powerful tool for manual testing and manipulation for a web application request. Stay curious and keep learning. And now I understand the fundamentals of using Burp Suite. No answer needed for that. And this will conclude this video of going through the Burp Suite basics. And thank you. Moving on to task 13, proxy HTTPS. Note, the attack box is already configured to solve the problem posed in this task. If you use the attack box and don't wish to read through the information here, you can skip to the next task. And you should definitely honestly skip this because everything's already configured to solve in the attack box. But I'll just go ahead and read it to you. But you don't really have to do much because it's already done for you in the attack box. So when intercepting the HTTP traffic, we may encounter an issue when navigating to sites with TLS enabled. For example, when accessing a site like https google.com, we may receive an error indicating that the port swigger certified authority is not authorized to secure the connection. This happens because the browser does not trust the certificate present by the Burp Suite. That's the example right there. To overcome this issue, we can manually add the port swigger certificate to our browser of trusted certificate authorities. Here's how to do it. Download the CA certificate with the Burp Suite activated. Navigate to http://burp/cert. This will download a file called cert, .der. Save this file somewhere on your machine, and I do apologize for destroying some pronunciations. Number 2, access Firefox certificate setting. Type about preference into your Firefox URL bar and press enter. This will take you to the Firefox settings page. Search the page for certificates and click on View Certificates button. And you'd go on Google. You'll type in certificates. You'll put View Certificates. Important. Import the CA certificate in the Certificate Manager window. Click on the Import button. Select this right here. This file that you downloaded in the previous step. Set the trust for the CA certificate in the subsequent windows that appears. Check the box that says trust this CA to identify a website and click OK. Trust this CA to identify a website? Yes, and then press OK. By completing these steps, we have added the Portswigger CA certificate to our list of trusted certificate authorities. Now we should be able to visit any TLS enabled site without encountering the certificate error. You can watch the following video for a visual demonstration of a full certificate import process. By following these instructions, you can ensure that your browser trusts the Portswigger CA certificate and securely communicates with TLS enabled websites through the Burp suite. And there is no answer needed for this, so we're just going to go ahead and move to task 14. Thank you.